We are here, and let's get ready to rumble with the 9th-ranked 21-year-old Hadley Husissian against the 4th-ranked 35-year-old Giulia Rizzi of Italy, Husissian from the United States. Referee is Reka Balog of Romania, assisted by Jung Jinman of Korea. And the side judges are Alexa Olar of Venezuela and Efstatios Sideros of Greece. That name killed me all day. You can see Rizzi almost a head taller, half a head taller, longer. And there we go, 1 minute of no fencing, no touches scored rather, P yellow cards. If that were to happen again in this bout, or a minute of no touches being scored, you'd have P reds. In that case, each fencer would get a point. And if it would happen a third time, which almost, well, there's Husissian on the board, which almost never happens to have a P black. It's the higher seeded fencer coming into the competition, which would be Rizzi, who would win if the score was tied. Actually, Rizzi's seated fourth here, but she's seated fourth here, but third, and Husissian is seventh. They've only met once, back in 2023. Rizzi was a 5-4 winner. Husissian attacked against the longer Rizzi, who was able to counter with a one-lighter. Let's watch. Actually, riposte to the arm. Good for the goose, good for the gander. Riposte by Husissian. Here's Madrigal. Coach. We're going to go to the break tied. Do a little dance. Again on the blade is Husisian, but this time Ritzy's able to get the double. That was a sneaky one by Ritzy. She almost allowed Husisian to parry her, and this slid in the remise there when Husisian sort of took a little too long setting up her riposte. It almost looked like that was pre-planned. Nice one there. So, as I said earlier, Ritzy has 3 silvers in Grand Prix, including the most recent one in Budapest. 14-12 ahead of Maximenko, wasn't able to close it out. And you know that she's thinking about it. She has to be. This is already Husisian's best result with a silver at a Grand Prix. He previously had a bronze at a World Cup in Marrakesh recently, and I believe last year Doha, also a Grand Prix bronze. Yes. Ritzy knows she has an advantage with the 2-touch lead against the shorter fencer who has to attack. She doesn't want to be passive, but she does need to take unnecessary risks with that 2-touch lead. It's up to Husisian, who's going to have to take a risk. Neither's going to take a risk here as we're going to go to the break. Okay, I didn't think that she'd be right back in the same position at the next Grand Prix, and she is. And she did what I said you might do. She attacked, thinking that Husisian might not be thinking defense, but she was, and scored on the riposte. So she took a risk a little bit early, paid the price. Husisian fleshed against the longer reached fencer Ritzy without taking the blade, and that certainly put her at a slight disadvantage. That's another attack by Husisian that Ritzy was able to double there. She needs to get a little closer, take the blade, or maybe draw out like she did on the first action, draw out the attack and make the riposte. Her riposte has been really successful. But as she was coming forward, she got popped. It appeared on the arm. You could see the body language there of Husisian. She's a little bit down. Ritzy keeping impeccable distance here against the shorter fencer. Biggest lead there of 4 as she inches closer to her first gold at a Grand Prix. got things well at hand here, does Ritzy. Well, a little over anxious there, but with a 5-touch lead, why not? Double was good for Ritzy, not good for Husisian. One away from the elusive Grand Prix gold for Giulia Ritzy of Italy. Not yet. Not yet. That's 4 match points in a row going back to Budapest, where she hasn't closed it out. 5, actually. She's done it! It's finally gold for Giulia Ritzy of Italy. After 3 silvers and the disappointment in Budapest back in March, she's done it. Gold medal for Giulia Ritzy. Yeah, finally she smiled. I was waiting for that. So stoic.
Ceremonia de premiación espada femenina. Medalla de bronce para Leis Katrina, Estonia.
Katrina Lehis of Estonia.
Para Nixon Catherine, Estados Unidos.
The other bronze to Catherine Nixon of the United States.
Invitamos al señor Ediberto Barbosa, metodólogo, Ministerio del Deporte, Colombia. Medalla de plata para Husisian Hadley, Estados Unidos.
There's a very popular in the arena Hadley Husisian of the United States with the silver.
Técnico de recreación y deporte. Medalla de oro para Giulia Ritzy de Italia.
And at long last, a gold at a Grand Prix for Giulia Ritzy of Italy.
Federación Colombiana de Esgrima. Un fuerte aplauso para las medallistas.
That was a nice touch. Medalists up on the gold confetti-filled podium.